Well, I want to welcome Krisann Bedassie. She joins me, and as you can see in a couple seconds, she is in uniform. So as she's finished with the spoken word performance, highway back to school from the Southland. This is a convent uniform, right? Yes. Yes. And let me tell you, you probably wouldn't be able to see, but she's in Form 6, and then she's part of so many different clubs. I'm seeing here the Tech Club, UNESCO. Yeah. Clearly, you make the most of your 24 hours every single day.
I try to, my school, they try to develop us holistically, so I try to take advantage of every opportunity that they provide us with.
I could well imagine, and of course, well done to you. Seeing Mom is here. Happy New Year.
Thank you, same to you.
I know you're a young woman of many, many talents. I didn't realize spoken word was one of them.
Yes, I've been exposed to spoken word for about a year now. My school, like many other schools, we have this event called projects, and through projects you get to learn a new skill. And so I chose spoken word, and I was tutored by another spoken word artist who actually appeared here. Her name is Soleila Bari, and she would have introduced me to the art form, and since then I have never gone back. I've been practicing this skill for ever since then.
What seems to be your theme, your focus, your topic? There's, for me, I would always go down the road, I guess, of environment, stuff to make people laugh, comedy, love, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to your talking points at your age with your lived reality up until this moment, what's your theme?
Well, I usually like to consider my youth audiences. For a lot of the spoken words that I've written, they have been primarily for competitions with a theme. So for instance, earlier in 2025, I would have done UWI's Mass Fair Creativity Competition, and it was about featuring mathematical history. And so I would have tried to cater my piece to accommodate that, but also to make it youth relatable by considering the fact that women are not exactly something that a gender that is represented in mathematics. You more see males, no offense. And I try to have a youth relatable piece. For instance, as well, there's an organization known as the Trinidad and Tobago Youth Advocacy Network. They invited spoken word artists to perform, and I tried to make a piece that would empower them and influence them to be the best youths that they can be, to be a resource for Trinidad and Tobago.
Excellent. So it's more or less curated based on whatever you're doing, but if, let's say, in your quiet moment, out of the competition mode, out of that designated project mode, what seems to be our direction you go to? Where are you right now in terms of topic-wise? So
recently I find myself influenced by the works that I'm studying in literatures in English at a Form 6 level. So currently we're reading The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I find myself so inspired. It's about slavery in Western Virginia, and I really enjoy those pieces because it talks about Black history, the Underground Railroad, and just trying to find their way out of that time. So I think I'm really inspired by pieces dedicated to minority groups because they all need a voice,
Of course, indeed. And I would imagine the piece we will enjoy today, it's called Don't Hang Up. We'll get a little idea as to what it's all about. But this is an original piece, something you did within recent time?
Yes, so I would have written this piece for the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Women Judges Spoken Word Creativity Competition, and I wrote it, and it was inspired by a TV show that I watched, Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
Yes, big show.
So I looked at that show, and I just felt that this would be such a great way to manipulate it. I won't give you guys too much information, you have to be surprised when you hear it. So it was inspired by that, and that piece would have placed first locally and then first at the regional.
Well, hey, let's hear the winning piece. It's Krisann with a poem entitled Don't Hang Up. Krisann, enjoy.
Okay. I am not a hero, and this isn't my survival story. It is, however, her story. And so I'll do my best to help you see, because it all started with a 999, what's your emergency? I've been here 1,000 times before, but this felt different. I mean, it's not every day that you get a 999 call from a mother. It's not every day that mother was brave enough to even mutter a word. And it definitely doesn't happen in a way where the mother and children were able to get away from him. It's actually quite rare that you hear the quiet whimpers of children in the background. But every day, I hear victims say that this call was a mistake. And so I do a double take and say, don't hang up. As a matter of fact, let me put you on speakerphone because I don't want you to think that you were ever alone. You see, it's a classic GBV nightmare with a husband who came home drunk from somewhere, intoxicated, infuriated, indoctrinated into a system that made him believe his wife would be the perfect candidate for a punching bag. Born to shine and feel protected under the illusion of a happy bride, but forced to be used, bruised, and abused. Nobody likes to hear that part, and for some reason only start to pay attention for the price of likes and shares in a social media intervention. And I keep answering calls that sound the same. Different names, different voices, but always the same pain. And sometimes if I close my eyes, I can hear them between the clicks. The ones who called, but hung up too quick. So please, don't hang up. I hear her swallow her cries as she says, maybe if I stay quiet, he'll stop this time. He's never been this vile. I promise he'll be okay after some time. But we both know it's a lie. I guess that's how victims cope with this life, that danger that wears familiarity like a cologne, sweet at first, then overblown. He says that he loves you, but the scent that lingers is black and blue, vindictive love turned illicit. I asked, is it worth it? Of course, the answer is no. And I already gave the dispatch my signal to go. But how many more women like her must go through this alone? These cries should never be belted to the tune of dial tone. We say we're in it together, but I guess that doesn't consider violence because of my gender. Don't hang up. It's not just the police who need to take this call, it's you all. If you hear fighting through your neighbor's wall, don't hesitate. Make that 999 call. These women who've been hurt and fragile, they're tired of burning in a world that keeps preaching but never actually learning. Can't you see that we need the mindset of a brother's keeper mentality? The understanding that hearts bleed louder than fists ever could. Teach your sons that manhood isn't in power, it's in doing good. You can't heal what you hide. So stop pretending and let this cycle of abuse die. You want to make a difference? You want to stop gender-based violence? Then don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Well.
That's Krisann TNT and the wider world. Extremely talented. A very topical piece, a strong piece. Obviously, it baffles me that you were able to recall all that from the top of your head. That was a lot of words, a lot of pieces being put together. I don't know what's your method and what's your science, but clearly you're onto something. And I want to tell you, don't ever give up on your dreams and what you have for yourself, because your future is as certain as I know the sun will set later and will rise again in the morning. Your future is going to be extremely bright.
Thank you so much.
Wow, Krisann, amazing. And that's, a strong piece. Obviously it's one speaking to gender-based violence and what many go through.
Yes.
And I'm sure it would have pulled at heartstrings. Did anybody ever give you a kind of personal feedback or share a story after hearing your piece?
No one has personally contacted me about it, but I did work with Miss Penelope Spencer. She's a well-known performer throughout Trinidad and Tobago regionally and even internationally. And after seeing me perform it locally, she would have gave me some advice on how to perfect it and kind of relate more to the audience. So it's because of that I think it has that, heartfelt response.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, could you even put into words your method of being able to recall all that? Because that's a lengthy piece.
So I think the key is to write your own piece. Lately, I've been noticing that a lot of people are turning to AI to develop their own pieces. But if it
people
comes with the
AI?
Yes, as taboo as it seems, people are doing that. But I try to be as original as I can. And so because the piece came from in here and it's inspired by something that I've seen reflected on TV shows it was something that everybody knows about, everybody constantly hears about on TV, on the news. So it was easy for me to, first of all, write that piece, and because it was such a strong rhythmic piece, I was able to remember it. So I think the key is to have like those rhyming words, because then you kind of know, okay, this kind of rhyming pattern is coming.
And what's coming next, and
yes,
just tell the story. Tremendous indeed. So Krisann, I mean, obviously, you know, we want to tell you thanks for coming through, for sharing with us your talent. We recognize that from the last time we would have seen you on the news cycle when the team came to your school, and I think was it the Yale?
Yes.
Yes, that whole opportunity. What's the latest with that?
So I was at, flashback, around June, July last year, I was admitted to Yale Young Global Scholars. I am the first in Trinidad and Tobago to have ever been admitted. So,
yes.
So I was admitted, and I actually attended in July 2025 after earning all the funds that I needed because of the help from Trinidad and Tobago regionally and internationally. I was able to attend the program. I studied politics, law, and economics. It was so much fun, guys. I am not a nerd, but I felt like a nerd, and I was not ashamed of feeling like a nerd. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to attend.
That was your first time to the US?
It was. So I was a little scared, but you know, the concrete jungle was really nice. I don't think I would trade the experience for anything.
Yeah, and I'm sure you would have made contacts, and you'll be back there soon. And I mean, the future is bright. I guess, listen, we have to keep our eyes. Just remember the name, Krisann Bedassie. Yes, Bedassie?
Yes.
Yes. She is on to a tremendous trajectory. And the good thing is, when you meet young people like Krisann, you recognize that the vast majority of the young people are doing tremendous work. It's just, unfortunately, the light and spotlight, unfortunately, sometimes is given to those who fall short. And even those who fall short, I still think there is time for them to make the 180 and come back on the straight and narrow. So you've given myself and many others looking on that faith that we are in great hands with the future. Because you all going to be the future leaders. Yes. And
no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure.
I mean, I think the pressure's on us to make sure we give you all the baton in a you know, you can't give you the baton and fumble the baton. Yeah, so Krisann, all the best. Get back to school safe. Hail up to mom. She's offset giving her support. And we'll stay on top of all the developments. All the best.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
For sure. Same here. Krisann touching base for the Poets Corner. Inspiration via words every single Friday. A safe space for the spoken word artists. We take the break and come back. So people.